Hey guys, how do you do for me, aka Honey, do for me, and today I have the Nike Paul George 1 performance review for you guys, so let's get right into it. Starting out with the traction of the Nike Paul George 1s, as you guys can see, we have a little colorful section right here, and then the rest of the traction pattern is gray, and basically what makes up the traction pattern is just a bunch of lines in a bunch of different directions. So let me just tell you guys how these perform. The rubber compound on this traction setup, on this colorway is solid, and also it is pretty soft. I can't tell you guys how soft the Paul George 1 Shining colorway is, the one with the translucent bottoms. Those are really nice, but I did strike out on those. So I got this colorway instead, and this solid rubber outsole did provide very good traction. I think that part of the reason why is because I got the solid rubber option. But on clean courts, you're not going to have any problems. You're going to be sticking like glue. You're going to be able to make agile cuts, and you're going to be able to cross people up and dunk on people. No problem whatsoever with the solid rubber outsole, and or at least on clean courts. On dusty courts, you're going to wipe here and there because these lines are very close together, and the traction pattern will collect dust after a while if you do not wipe. And then on outdoor settings, I definitely wouldn't recommend these because these lines are pretty pliable and soft, and they're not too deep, so I feel like these would run down really fast outdoors. So I wouldn't recommend these outdoors, but traction overall was pretty good. I didn't have any problems on clean courts. Again, on dusty courts, I had to wipe here and there, but I definitely think that the traction was above average on the shoe. Moving on to the cushioning department of the Paul George 1s, as you guys can see, we have just a Phylon midsole with a Nike Zoom unit in the forefoot. They did put that colored section on the outsole to show that they have forefoot zoom. I don't know why I was doing quotation marks. They actually do have forefoot zoom, but however, this forefoot zoom is bottom loaded. So let me tell you guys how the cushioning felt to me. To me, it was a really responsive setup. I didn't feel like there was a lot of cushioning under my feet. It was pretty stiff, or it was pretty responsive, but impact protection to me wasn't like a big deal breaker for the shoe. It was firm, but I feel like my knees and my joints and stuff weren't hurting after a while of playing in these, so that's always a good sign. So I think, in my opinion, impact protection was there. It's just the feel under the foot wasn't the most comfortable. I couldn't really feel the Nike Zoom unit in the forefoot. Like you can kind of tell that there's like a little bit of a bulge or something under the bottom of your forefoot, but it wasn't like a springy, like how Zoom is supposed to feel, if that makes sense. But the impact protection on these were pretty good, and they did feel very responsive. I felt really quick and stuff. It's just not going to be the most comfortable ride, but they are going to provide you with a very low to the ground and responsive ride while still kind of providing a little bit of impact protection. So on the materials, as you guys can see, we have a mesh in the forefoot with some fuse overlays for extra durability. We have this strap, which is kind of made out of like a mesh material with some fuse and some fly wire. And then we have this kind of synthetic nubuck. Like, I think this is synthetic nubuck. And we have a booty construction with a little heel tab, regular laces, and you do have like a dynamic fit system, kind of like what Jordan puts in their shoes. But yeah, materials overall, I didn't really have any problems with them. In the beginning, this part of the shoe, the back part of the shoe was a little bit stiff, but after 3 or 4 hours of hooping hard, you're gonna be totally fine. The materials are gonna break in, and they're just gonna feel like normal materials. They don't feel like anything too special, but I did like the fact that they did put synthetic nubuck and not just like a cheap fuse or just like mesh everywhere for like such a low price model. But other than that though, nothing really special stood out to me in the Paul George 1 material section. Everything felt pretty standard, and it felt really good once they broke in. Moving on to the fit of the shoes, I did go true to size in these. I have a semi-wide foot. My true size is 11.5. I got an 11.5. And I do have a little bit of a wider foot. So at first, these did feel a little bit tight, especially with this strap. I feel like if you guys watch other performance reviews, they did say that the strap does work, and believe me, it does work. When you pull the fly wire does pull in your foot, and you do get a nicer fit. Oopsie, you do get a nicer fit once you really tie the strap really tight. I don't know, I can't talk right now, but the fit is really nice. Actually, even though I have a little bit of a wider foot, after these broke in, I feel like they did fit my foot really nicely, especially with this strap. It's kind of customizable, and I feel like the whole shoe just really hugs your foot nicely. I think that this booty construction really draws in your heel, and I didn't really have any problems with the fit. So in my opinion, if you go true to size, even if you have a little bit of a wider foot, you should be able to get away with these. If you're not sure, if you have really wide feet and stuff, you might want to try these in store or just skip this shoe completely. But in my experience, the fit was really good, especially in the forefoot area due to the strap, and also the heel lockdown to me was really good. Something to keep in mind though is when you're breaking in the shoe, when you're flexing your forefoot and stuff, this strap is gonna feel a little unorthodox, or it's gonna feel a little weird. It's gonna pinch a little bit into your foot, but that does go away after a couple of hours of hooping in them. I'm not sure if it breaks in or you just get used to it, but it just goes away. So that's just something to keep in mind. Moving on to the support of the shoe, this is a pretty supportive low top shoe. I feel like they did a really good job. Since the fit and the materials were good, the support on the shoe was really good as well. I feel like it's kind of like the Kobe level of support for a lockdown and stuff. Like I didn't feel like my feet were gonna explode, or I didn't feel like I was gonna break an ankle or like break my knees or whatever in these. So I feel like the support on these were really good. The outrigger is pretty wide, or I'm not sure if it's super wide, but I didn't feel unstable in the shoe at all. The cushioning was pretty like, it didn't feel unstable at all. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap up support. Support was really good for me. So overall, the Paul George 1's priced at $110. Do I think the shoe is worth it? In my opinion, I think it is worth it because you're getting a pretty good low top shoe for $110. In my opinion, though, these don't feel anything, they don't feel like anything too special in my opinion. I feel like these just feel like a team model with just an extra logo stuck on. So don't get caught up in the whole Paul George gets his first signature shoe hype. I mean, if you like the shoe and you just want a pretty basic but solid performer on the court, this is going to be a great option, especially at the $110 price point. I'm glad Nike didn't like make these $150 or whatever, because I think $110 is a good price. You're going to get solid materials, you're going to get pretty good cushioning, responsive cushioning, and you're going to get great traction, great lockdown, great fit, and stuff like that. So you're going to get all the basic necessities you need in a basketball shoe for $110. I think it's a pretty good model to play in or to start playing basketball in. It's a good budget model. If you like low tops, I feel like you're gonna really enjoy the shoe. But personally, I probably want a little bit more cushioning in the shoe. Everything else though was really good, and I feel like if you can pick these up for $80 or $70 in the near future, I feel like that's a really good price. However, for $110, if you really like Paul George or you just really like how the silhouette looks, I think it's an instant cop. You guys should get the shoe. Nothing really failed me or disappointed me in the shoe, so that's always a good sign. But yeah, overall, I just thought it was a solid option, and it's a really good low top option if you guys want to play basketball in these. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much wrap up my Paul George 1 performance review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna have a lot more videos coming soon. I've been slacking a little bit because I just got my wisdom teeth taken out, so if I'm talking kind of funny, let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, so I also have the Nike Air Vapor Max performance review coming. I'm super excited for those shoes. I've been waiting a long time for those, so hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on them if they're not too limited. So that's gonna pretty much wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button if this video helped you at all or you just enjoyed the video, and also subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see more videos like this. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.